Welcome to this, our second segment of our today's discussion, where we are now discussing the word enthroned heir. Martin is leading the discussion.
Thank you, Paxton. Let us begin by you giving us the common meaning of the word enthroned heir.
Enthroned heir, in the common sense, is generally referred to people who are in rulership positions. Heads of states, heads of governments, and those in high positions in big corporations, and in families where the family is of big influence, most probably with links to big business. Whoever then takes over would be considered as an enthroned heir. This is the general context meaning of the word enthroned heir. One who has taken over the reins, of a very influential and powerful position.
From that explanation, what then is the possible core misunderstanding that can arise?
The core misunderstanding that arises from that common understanding is that the understanding excludes the core element where whoever has taken over as an enthroned heir should continue to increase and multiply the influence or rulership of that position. So that understanding is not there. In the common understanding, a person can take over the reins and fail. He or she is still considered as an enthroned heir. In its a proper context, the enthroned heir should proceed to at least sustain the influence or rulership of what they've taken over, but better still, excel. That's the element that's left out of the common understanding.
Against all that, what then is the proper biblical context meaning of enthroned heir?
An enthroned heir in the biblical context is one who sustains all things of one's daily life by the word one speaks. The word which is based on the fulfillment of the word of God. In other words, whatever they speak is fulfilled and is based on the word of God. They are an extension of the way God operates. Remember in Genesis, God speaks and says, let there be this, and that happens. This is the context of the biblical meaning.
All right. Any scriptures, illustrations from the Bible to support that?
Oh, indeed so. I mean, you have Joshua when he was in battle in biblical Israel history. He commands the sun to stop until Joshua has gone through his battle, and the sun stops. And you have Elijah who stands up and says, no more rain for 3 years until I speak, and the rain is stopped. You have Jesus himself and even his disciples. They spoke awesome deeds which immediately took place because of their speaking. So these are the biblical illustrations.
Are there any pitfalls that can be avoided by someone's proper understanding of the same word?
Indeed so. If you correctly understand enthroned heir, you would want to go to your church and be discipled to initially grow the faith of Jesus, and through your succeeding in that growth, you then grow to the much faith of also teaching others how to as well grow that faith. And through your much faith, you qualify to become an heir. The heir who now, extends the faith by teaching others, and your enthroned faith, because you are teaching others to multiply the faith of God as represented by Jesus, you now become an enthroned heir. What you speak, happens. This is the core benefit to be realized. And the pitfall, as you have asked, is that you don't want to go and study the Bible or be taught how God operates, and you don't continue to grow. Most of us, currently, we attend our respective churches and don't grow at all. We stay there and we are being taught day in, day out until we, grow gray hair. And nothing is seen. We don't demonstrate anything as to our growth, not only in the faith, but in the power of God. So this is the major pitfall to be avoided.
Just as you've mentioned about benefits, are there any benefits really?
No, the benefits are immense, which I have started on. You don't want to seek any discipleship that does not make you grow. That does not only make you grow the faith, but in applying the faith, in succeeding in applying the faith. And not only that, you also want to become an extension of extending and multiplying that faith through teaching others. And only then can you now grow to become an extension of how God rules. You know, God is not going to come on this earth and, start to rule and say, I have come. God is ruling through people. So you also now grow that faith, grow that rulership authority with which you now speak things that take place.
Interesting indeed. Paxton, we have a situation where someone is a head of state somewhere in a very high position, and one day is out of that office. Does it mean he's no longer ruling?
Oh yes, I mean, enthroned heirs sustain their throne by continuing to exercise that authority. If you no longer exercise that authority, you can, no longer continue in the office. It's true, even in the Bible. There are people who grew in their walk with God, and as soon as they, lost the faith, their becoming, their continuing as an extension of God, they also lost the enthroned heirship.
Thank you so much, Paxton, for the discussion. There you are, viewers. God is seeing himself in rulership through you. And until you begin to exercise that power and wisdom which God gave you, you are not ruling, you are not enthroned heir. Therefore, you better get up now and begin to seek the power and wisdom of God to extend his rulership on earth.